For those of you who've been waiting for me to get back in the garage, I'm finally here after about 3.5 weeks being away. I was on Oasis of the Seas in Jamaica, Mexico and Haiti. My last video I did a little bit of drone footage above the ship and everything in Haiti, so if you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. It's pretty cool. I give you a bit of an outline on what the ship's like, so you can check it out yourself. But now I'm back in the garage and I want to figure out this, has been playing on my mind for a while, this little solenoid here. Let me just zoom in. I really want to put it or place it back here somewhere and hide it just underneath this frame, the main frame that runs around, as close to the battery box as I possibly can get, because this obviously goes straight down to the battery. So yeah, I want to try and hide him in there, and I apologize about the lighting right now because it's really bright. My little light that I was using for the photography has had a malfunction, and I've ordered another one. I'm just waiting for it to turn up. So but anyway, getting back to this, I've made this just a little temporary cardboard box to try and figure out how this is going to work. And so far my theory is to pretty much slide this down in here, like I'm going to make this out of steel, slide this down in here, and these two little guys here, maybe just do a cutout here and a cutout on this side so that it can slide down inside, and then just make basically a reverse, so and one that comes up, across and down, and then have some sort of fixing on the front here so that I can basically install it, put the lid on, and then push it in place. Hopefully there's enough room for the wires, push it in place, and then have one screw maybe at the back to locate it, so if I have any dramas then it's only one bolt to undo, take the fuse out or check the fuse, and then put it all back together. So it's just all nice and simple. It's not going to be as easy as it was originally, unfortunately, but that's the things you're going to have to deal with when you're trying to hide stuff, to make it nice and neat. This is the one way I can see that can work. There's many other ways I could probably do it, but I've never seen this done before, and I figured I want to give it a go. I'm going to use my folding machine and see if I can't manufacture what I need to make it work and hide it and be done with it. So this is the basic bottom section to house this, but when I made it I decided I didn't really want this to rattle around, so I made it big enough to house the original rubber boot that this used to slide into. So if I put that into there, this goes in really tight. I could chop it down if I needed to, but I think I really just like the fact that it's not going to rattle around at all once it's in. So once I can seat that down inside there, it's just a matter of now creating some sort of lid to go over it, the front section and the top, and maybe just to fill in these little gaps here. I'm not sure. Could potentially still use this rubber section to protect this from touching the housing, because that is definitely something you don't want to do. or I can just completely change these wires with the eyelets, so they just come straight in with an eyelet, and then you can direct them to wherever you want to go, so it's fully insulated. I'm not sure how to do that just yet, but I'm just creating the lid currently, or thinking about how to create the lid for this. But once this is done, it's going to sit pretty much tucked away back in here somewhere, so it's fairly invisible, so you won't really see it, and it's really close to the battery, which is exactly what I wanted. So that's stage one. I decided to remove this little rubber boot here just purely because there's not really any point to it. This is going to be a sealed unit as such, so no water should really get in there. You might get a bit of a splash and stuff, but I'm going to put a drainage hole at the very bottom anyway, and where it mounts, if any water does get in this little section here, it's just going to drain straight through, and these things are fairly watertight anyway. But yeah, so I've gotten rid of that, and I've decided to direct these wires out this little opening on this side, and then I've just completed the lid. Well, not completed, but done as much as I need to do to see if it's going to fit, and it goes over there like that. Like I said, this may need a little bit more attention, but once this is completely welded up and grounded back, obviously this needs to be trimmed here to be level with the bottom, and just one bolt that goes through there, just like I was explaining earlier on, and then this little guy can get tucked in behind here. So it's a little bit oversized at the moment, so it may not fit, but yeah, she's not going to go in with that extra little bit at the bottom. So that's kind of it. I just want it to be sort of just a box, so it's not really noticeable to what it is. Obviously you're going to see wires and everything, but it's a lot neater once it's complete and put in position. It's just going to be sort of hopefully not as noticeable. I've just got to be careful that it doesn't go too close to the swing arm, where the swing arm sort of runs, just so it doesn't interfere or rub. And this, I think, one of these bolts up here, I think I'm going to make the mounting for it, so I'll probably have a little tab coming off this, coming up here, that just has a hole that locates it into that one there, and that's the mounting for the engine. So I may rethink that, just purely because I don't really want to have to loosen that really. Yeah, I might make a different mounting for it. Anyway, that's nothing major right now. I just wanted to basically get that box done so it's completed and finished. So I'll just trim that off, and yeah, that'll be as much as I need to do now for that, until I can tidy up how these little guys come out, maybe little grommets or something.